didn't answer.
I understand. All right.
All I want is an answer.
Anyway, I would like to make a motion regarding the process of us putting things to the board. I'd like to suggest that we work on any amendments to any ordinances. I'd like to see the board take a look at the ordinances and see where they think our priorities should be as far as next steps. I think the buildings, I mean, I'm getting off the motion issue. I think the next step, I mean, the steps of having the accessory buildings was the place to start for sure. But I think we need to move forward and have some directive from the people who are going to make the ultimate decision in the end. Let them do that, and so that my motion is also with the planning that I be direct contact and be the only contact, that the chair be the only contact, not me personally, with Latham, with Don Hamilton, not a bunch of people talking to Don Hamilton, not Don Hamilton meeting with people in the building and getting their suggestions or their input. I think this needs to be more of a streamline. I don't think there needs to be influences, if you will, on anybody's end, and I think that needs to come through me. And any meetings we have that request or need Don to be there, I think I should make that call, or if the board wants me to make that call for that meeting. So my motion, again, is to be the direct contact with the chair, not directly me. Chair be the direct contact for the planning consultant, and as well as any amendments need to be put in a format and sent to the board for them to review prior to us putting them forward for a vote.
With your money.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear
So
the rest of your motion.
your motion is to be the sole contact between
To
the
be
planning
the-
commission and the board?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
To the planning consultant, the direct
I guess, I
contact
mean,
to the
we'll have
planning
to make
consultant.
that secondary. I don't know.
Why are we even
So
doing
you're not
this?
allowed
You're
to
telling us
talk
4 years from now,
talk to
this
them.
means nothing. This means
All
nothing
right,
4
if
years
you
from
can
now.
call Don and Don wants to talk to you on your personal time and he's not charging you for it, that's fine. I mean, but to be, I don't know what your need is there. If you got a question, then, and if you think Don's the expert to answer your question, I think that should be brought before the committee that, hey, you've got this question, or whatever.
I would see the timeline that I've seen for the last several months, this whole board just getting Latham's report for the condos came out an hour before the meeting.
Yeah, I got it 2 days ago.
Okay,
And,
you got it 2 days ago.
Okay, I was busy. I didn't
So-
see my email.
You're busy, you can't get back to email or phone call, so Kim or I or Don
Okay.
can't contact Don to say, hey, what's the definition on this, or what do you see this in other municipalities? You're gonna restrict.
I don't know. I don't know if there's charges for that. I mean, is there charges when they call you, or is there a charge to drive around the township with you and show you? I don't know. I don't know what's being charged, what's not. I think there's too many chiefs, trying to run the show here. And I think there needs to be a point of contact. And I think there needs to be this outside influence, whether it be a board member or whatever. I think that there needs to be a streamlined contact, not people all over giving their opinion, or somebody giving you your opinion, and you going to Don with that opinion, and then it's just turning into this person should do this person should do this.
So for Don to ask, I don't know how long you lived in the township or Laurie, but I know Deb's been here her whole life.
I've been here.
Kim has been his whole life, and I have. For Don to ask lifelong residents our opinions or where this is or what that was, you're gonna restrict that. Or you're asking.
You're going to tell me we're going to pay Don for you?
Don, I guess let's ask Don.
I would like to see it.
If we call
I-
you and ask a question, is our township getting billed for a question?
If it's just a few minutes, no.
Okay.
But if it's something that involves me doing research or something like that, then yes.
Okay.
And it should,
Okay.
it generally is part of what we're pursuing.
I mean, I can't
Or
stop
should
you.
pursue.
I can't stop you from calling a friend. So I mean, I can't really stop you from calling Don. But if it's business, and it's related to something that we were working on, I mean, I think the rest of the commission, should know.
Shouldn't there be a group email maybe, so everyone's
Would
in
that
it?
violate-
That would
That's a
violate
violation.
quorum.
There's a violation of quorum.
law.
Understood.
So
There's
there's a
bylaws
motion on the floor. Is
for
there a
this
second?
We
board.
can't,
Hold on, yeah.
Is there a second to Woods'
Yeah,
motion?
there's a motion on the floor. Okay, so can you, it's probably short. Can you-
When it comes to township
My
business,
shorthand is that for the chairperson to be the direct contact with planning consultant to the board regarding planning commission business. That's what I have written down. That's what I understood because there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
There were like 4 people talking at once.
Why wouldn't you just say whatever is billed, that you have to approve it?
Um,
I
I,
can't
yeah.
approve things as far as
I
when
mean,
it
if
comes
they
to
talk and
financial.
then, if he's gonna bill
So,
them, you know.
so.
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
yeah, that has to
I-
go
That'd be
in
before
that-
us.
And in the past, there were some things that would work that way. However, what she read was that you as the chair, I'm sorry.
The
The
chair, the
chair.
chairperson,
Not
not
always
named
gonna be the
specific.
chair, I can tell you.
Mr. Woods, can you please repeat your
The chair
motion?
is the director.
Okay, motion is for planning consultant or the planning, whoever the engineering company or whatever you want to call it is, be in direct contact with the chair of the planning commission as far as business, I don't know how to put it, as far as the verbiage.
Maybe be the primary contact. Because I know there has been times that I didn't know anything until I come into the meeting. And I know discussions have been made
Here, there.
and
everywhere.
decisions made, and I don't even know how they were made.
Well, he's always been my primary contact.
It has been.
For the
So
sake
you're
of,
not changing
for the
anything.
sake of the minutes, I'd like to get it right. So what is the motion?
Okay, that all business was related to the planning commission from the planning consultant be directed through the chair of the board. That's the motion.
Thank you.
Okay.
Second.
This
This isn't, we're, We can have
ask
public
a question?
comment
Well, we
after.
need to have
Yeah,
a
but-
second, yeah. we need to have a
You have a question
Can
with
I ask
this?
a question before?
Yeah.
Question of the motion?
We're talking basically, if John's saying you already get contact, no charges made, or somehow I think it's the fees, correct?
That's,
And that
yeah,
you're
that's
not
what's trying to
getting-
be,
I mean, we're up to $50,000, and I don't know how. I mean,
I
not
don't-
John, that I know you're doing work in that, but I've never seen any, like,
built.
bills.
Right.
I don't know what
I don't
part
know
of that is.
what it is.
Tom,
It
what
Is
goes,
it?
it goes to the clerk. And in your bylaws, he's, your chairman is supposed to coordinate with the clerk. And so, I don't know, see, that's part of the problem, is nobody's doing all of what he or she should be doing. So,
The coordination has been lacking.
yeah,
Okay.
you haven't had a representative here, you haven't, the board doesn't, when you send it over there, it just gets lost in the, whatever, the clerk's domain over there. So there's problems with the contacts between you and the clerk and the rest of the
We'll
board.
make some strides towards,
If we address this motion, you can probably bring up a second motion regarding communication with the clerk.
yeah, do I have a second?
Okay, I will second that.
We'll do roll call. Roush?
No.
Lowe? No. And Knuckle?
No.
Woods, yes. Oh, you
You
seconded.
forgot to call me, but yeah.
Well, you seconded, that's why.
So motion
And,
fails.
Just so you know. I guess I wanted to know what your thoughts were as far as the suggestions, as far as sending things to the board.
I think, and I don't know if I'm ready to make a motion or that, but what I feel we want is accountability for the dollars. To show the community where is $50,000 going? And I know it's not all
I
yours
said-
because that was with Tom
I
also.
send an invoice, it doesn't matter, even Tom's stuff went.
Okay.
And he had a complete
Okay.
diary, we don't call it a diary, but he had a list of what he did. He gave a report monthly to the board on what he was doing. So that was what he did. I send an invoice, try to do it monthly, sometimes it doesn't work, but I give a complete list of what I'm doing, what I'm working on in that invoice. It doesn't just say, send me money.
Well, I would hope it didn't, but again, I'm not seeing any of it, so,
How do you want me to do it? You
We
want
can change that process, but eventually when the bill does come in, we don't always do standard comes in.
right.
That's, you know,
Do we ever
So are
break
you-
down on your-
Laurie, are you suggesting that when I send it, should I send it to Matt and let him forward it on?
no, it needs to go to the clerk if you actually
Right.
wanna get paid.
I,
But if that's a
that's why I
problem
do
of-
send it to the,
I understand, but if it's a problem of having the bill communicated otherwise, then that's a system that we can work with. However, there needs to be some control over what we're being charged with. And that's the bigger problem, because even when you and I talked the last time, there was, you know, we had talked about your contract and the actual wording of your contract, that it needed to be in writing if you were gonna pursue additional things. And even with the one thing in particular that we discussed, you said yourself that you brought that forward. That nobody suggested it, nobody asked for it, you brought it forward. And that's not really the terms of your contract. And
no,
I
no,
think
no,
that's the
please.
bigger issue.
I know the terms of my contract, and it said for professional planning services, period. Then the second amendment to it was for zoning administration, and it said zoning administration, period. It didn't say, you know, that I had to ask your permission or to ask
It said we need
anything.
additional duties.
It
that
may
in
be
writing.
that you want that,
No, I
but that
read
is
it.
not what it says.
Okay, okay.
Well, I'm looking at our current bylaws.
Just Don.
The planning consultant shall attend planning commissions when requested.
When requested.
Consult with planning commission, zoning administrator, and other township officials concerning interpretation, procedural questions, and other matters arising from the zoning ordinance. So if that motion would have passed, we would have been in violation of our own bylaws. Prepare and forward to the zoning administrator written reviews and recommendations for all requests and develop proposals to be considered by the planning commission. Contact applicant, their representative, and/or township officials as needed to properly perform project reviews. And number 6, perform other duties as directed by the planning commission. I'm gonna say what I've learned in the last under a year. That's what Don has been doing, and we as a board have been doing that. I mean, the planning commission, B goes on to say the planning commission may be assisted by other professionals or township staff as needed, including building inspector, township, well, that's very interesting, township attorney, township engineer, or other person or agency.
Gotcha.
I'm quite sure we, as a planning, you have
What
access to
I'm
a
saying
township
is
attorney?
there's pressure to reduce the amount that we're paying out to Latham and Associates. So if we have to not have Don at every meeting or what we're working on, or we can bring Don in, you know, after we've worked on something one meeting and bring him in the next meeting, or send the stuff to him, which he's still gonna bill for, but it's not gonna be a trip out to Calcala and a trip back home and his time spent here. I mean, just to do whatever we can to reduce this.
In my opinion, Don is an asset
Oh,
for
absolutely.
all, I mean,
Yes.
Deb, what are you on, 2 years on planning commission?
Yes.
How long you been on that?
Year and a half.
Him and I are both under a year. Laurie's 2 months. So
Yeah, I
to
mean,
say
our
the
experience.
5 of us do this without Don, I think puts us and our residents at a large.
I don't think
Nothing
anybody's
would
saying
pass,
do it
nothing
without
would pass
him.
through without.
Yeah.
We
nobody's saying
We would
do
be
it without
spinning
him.
our wheels, because
No.
as you see right now, the 3 things that went to the board Monday. The planning professional brought them from other townships that currently have them. I would assume those other townships have attorneys, but our attorney's opinion, not the law, our attorney's opinion, is now put a stalemate on several residences and buildings, or businesses. It's causing a problem. So to make more red tape at this point, I'm gonna have to go with what Deb said 2 months ago. We go to the absolute minimum number of meetings until our township board can show progress for what we're doing.
So are you saying that all of those ordinances that you guys had recommended up to the board were specifically to address proposed developments in the township?
No.
That's what it sounded like. You said that those were supposed to go up there because people were waiting? That's what it sounded like you said, so I'm kind of curious. I just want
People were
clarification.
waiting to build larger structures or decks.
Rather than
I
that, go
believe
to
the last
ZBA to
ZBA
get the
No,
variance.
no, I get that.
The last
Yeah.
ZBA, so instead of approving it, sorry about my enunciation. I forget the guy's name, last ZBA. He had to go pay the ZBA to get it approved.
Well,
More money
no,
for
they
our
worked with
residents.
him actually on that because there was some confusion about the proposed ordinances and being instructed that those were going to pass so he didn't need to get a second variance. And they did not charge him for the second meeting or the second variance because of the confusion. But that in and of itself is problematic because just because something is proposed, there's no guarantee it's going to be approved. So if you come in wanting to build something today, you are based on today's zoning, today's law, even if it was approved, expeditiously, you still have time periods that have to be met by law before that takes effect. So if you want to build something and you're waiting on the zoning to change, you may have a pretty substantial wait, and it's really not in anybody's best interest to rush that process because then you end up with unintended consequences. So there's a lot more to it to be compliant with the law and to make sure that the changes that are being considered and potentially being made are going to be in everybody's best interest, not just the best interest of certain people that are waiting. So I think it's a little bit bigger of a thing. We are making law when we approve ordinances. We're not just making suggestions. And that not only has to go to legal to make sure it is legally defensible, which was problematic in some of what moved forward.
In his
But-
opinion.
Yes.
In
or-
that
and in
attorney's
federal law,
opinion.
and in federal law.
Do we have
So
a
there's a
problem?
little more to it. We have attorneys for a reason, and that is because if anything goes awry, if something were to be illegally approved by this commission and move forward, it's up to the law firm to be able to actually defend the township and protect our interests. So they protect our interests ahead of time when changes are being proposed. That's how that works. And that's pretty standard practice across the board for municipalities. So, for whatever that's worth.
We have all the accountability of his statements, the attorney judge, all of it. What he's billing us for, everything he's billed us for,
Yeah, they're required, they're required to do
and
that.
that's only because you voted him in, you people voted him in, whether it was all of them. But I went to many municipalities where there's no attorneys
And
ever.
sometimes that's the case, it
Well,
really depends.
if you took a job that you couldn't do, then you shouldn't have taken the
Actually,
job.
that has nothing
It
to do
has
with
everything to
that.
do with it. I would never
Well,
take
I've
a
been
job
on
that
this board
I had to
for
hire
5
a
years.
lawyer to protect
I've been on
me.
this board for
Bullshit.
5
All right,
years,
point of
and there's-
order.
Once again,
Most of the time.
we don't need an attorney here.
Point of
Mr.
order.
Woods, are we still on 7B or have we bled into 7C?
Excuse me?
Are we still
They
on
need to
7B
protect
or are
you
we on
because you're
7C
the
now?
clerk.
It seems like we bled into
We
7C.
blended the two together, and I think,
I think we
you guys have anything else?
Are we on public
I think as far as this
I got one
process, the
Couple of them.
suggestions that were made, as far as how we're gonna bring things to the board, or the board's gonna bring things to us, I say we sit on this until next meeting, everybody think about the process, and maybe we can come to some conclusion on how we follow that process, so
Less
streamline it,
confusion.
and, so that's my
I have a lawyer
suggestion.
here.
You guys agree?
He'll be able to pay the
All right, I'd like to,
What does it mean?
so we'll table that item.
What next year?
You're tabling how to bring things forward to the board?
Yeah, the suggestions that
Yeah.
we.
Can we have a board meeting just for people
Just so
that
it's in
come
the-
give your opinion?
Just so it's in the
Because this is
minutes.
getting to be bullshit.
Is that a
every
motion
meeting.
or is that just a statement?
Just a statement.
Okay.
Let's get it so people.
I would
can
like
talk.
to make a motion to adjourn.
Well, hold on.
Public comment.
We
was
closed
not-
it already.
That was not
It's closed already.
Okay, public comment, 2 minutes each.
We closed.
Please stand, say your name.
You,
Says
we've,
right
It's
here,
not in our
comment
agenda.
at the end, and I wanted to say something, and there was no time afforded.
Okay, it was part of the public hearings was where the public comment.
yeah, and the time to amend the
So it
agenda
It
has
says right
passed.
here.
So it's
Yes.
7C and then it's adjournment.
Gotcha, okay. Motion to adjourn,
I'll make that motion.
all in favor?
Second. No. Aye.
What did we do, Jeremy?
Are we setting that? on
You wanna
the
discuss it, you wanna,
Well,
yeah, I understand.
it's how we bring it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we have a law that states we only have X number of
Right.
days to do this. So,
It's already been received, it's already been put into the system.
But do we wanna
as far
do
as
it at our next
funding.
scheduled meeting?
The publication dates.
Don,
would
because
probably
I am
be-
so new, or maybe Matt, sorry, I don't wanna cost us more money, Don. Matt, how many
Yeah,
days
yeah.
from the time
Sorry,
received do we need?
I think we need 14 days to,
Well,
15 days for publication.
And Monday is the cutoff, and obviously Monday would be the next business day, but I don't know that it would be prepared to be there in time because of the cutoff time on Monday. And
but
and it
we
is
have a
Monday day.
certain
let's see.
responsibility, number of days that we
Yeah.
have to enact on this. If we agree to send this to the clerk for publication to the County Journal,
If we put it in next week,
Yeah, I think you'd still have time, even if it was.
we still have plenty.
Yeah, next week, yeah, I think so.
know about it.
he showed it to us at the beginning of the meeting.
Oh,
Sorry,
so
Jeff.
it must not have been here.
I showed that to you.
Yeah.
I shared that at the board meeting. That would give us plenty of time, to put it
Okay.
in next week.
For the record, when you closed your public hearing, it was still supposed to be a public comment, and I do not remember that being called. That there was a public comment for the
We
overall.
closed
next
each
meeting.
and every one of them individually.
I know, but then at the very bottom it says, you know, there was gonna be a public comment at the end of the meeting, was there not?
No.
Yeah, and I didn't make that amendment.
Actually,
Mine, I put
Laurie's the one that
Closed
spoke up
public
of what-
hearing,
What time it was to close public comment at 8:06.
and that
But
really
that
should
was
have said
public
closed
comment.
public
That was
hearing
for
like
the
I
public hearing.
noted.
That was for the public hearing, there was
Yeah.
not.
You wanna have a public
That was the
comment?
public-
We
Yeah.
can have a public comment.
Yep.
I'm
Megan
fine
said you
with what the
couldn't.
public
That's
wants.
amending
That's-
me.
Alright, so we'll.
Okay, public
Before we go to
Actually,
public comment, we need to finish
Got it.
our discussion as a
I
board.
thought that.
So we'll put this forward,
So, okay.
a discussion as a board.
This is 7C.
We'll put this forward and get it published next week.
Okay.
7C was other input, is what I understood when we.
And that's what we're
amended it.
discussing now?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry. Confused.
It's okay, there's a lot of voices going
I know.
on in the whole
So,
room, so it's hard to
Does
Does
keep
anybody
track.
else have any
So what is it?
discussion?
What are you putting forward?
It's a special use, well, Chairman, I don't want to step on your toes. 'Cause It's gonna have to be,
Mr. Steve Dennis, 170 South Huron Road, is asking for a special use for an incinerator. I spoke to the lawyer, and he thinks we should move forward with it as we would, and it's his right that we go forward and have a public hearing. It's allowed as a special use in light industrial. An incinerator, not a crematory.
What are they gonna be incinerating?
That's not described in the application.
Well, that's
What-
something should be checked on.
Yeah, I agree.
They could be
Yeah.
incinerating PCBs.
No, I agree. This
I'm
is
just saying,
kind
that
of,
you
yeah.
gotta
He
understand.
wants a crematory, so
Yes.
he can
Oh,
get
it's a-
an
it's a
incinerator and
crematory, it's a
incinerate
crematory.
the bodies.
Okay.
There-
I-
this has been
I
an
didn't
ongoing
understand
thing.
what, I didn't understand what you were,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
I didn't understand what you were insinuating.
No, I agree.
It's his right to,
Yeah.
he's gonna have to, for special use, he's gonna have to put forth, what the intent is.
And I'm just saying, that, you know, if you give somebody just the right to burn
No,
something,
he can't do that.
he
He's
could be
gotta,
burning PCBs for all you know, and that's illegal, all right?
But that would be an incomplete application if you didn't say what the purpose of it
it
was.
doesn't have a
it
purpose out
says
there, but
incinerator.
But it doesn't say for what.
Yeah.
Mr.
But
Woods,
it
is that
doesn't-
to be on August 13th as well?
The zoning
Combination,
ordinance
regular
isn't
meeting and
specific
public
either.
hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
But if he's
please.
gonna bring through a site plan,
So
it's supposed to
That's what we're gonna
describe
do?
he's
With the
gonna do.
site.
Everybody's
I-
in favor of
I
that?
Not the special
Yeah.
use.
You made the motion, I'll second that motion to
Yeah,
bring
you
it to the
can.
13th.
Wow.
There wasn't an official motion.
It doesn't say it in your
Is
ordinance.
that what you want?
Let's make a motion to bring the Steve Dennis incinerator application for special use to public hearing on the 13th, August 13th.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, is there anybody else that won't be here? Don't know?
So another question I have,
Sure.
MTA has another thing, educational. Do you guys get emails from MTA?
Yes.
Okay, that, so
What
there's
day?
another one of their hot
Get somewhere
topics,
in the
zoning
building.
stuff.
There's that, Frankenmuth.
There's one Frankenmuth, Gaylord,
Bay
Thought
City.
Bay Valley.
There's one.
No,
Well, that might
not-
that might be
planning is
one
not
for
Bay
us.
City.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
planning
probably.
is.
yeah, this is straightforward for us, for planning commissioners. So,
When is it?
I'll be honest, I ran out of paper at the computer last night, so I couldn't print it out, and I have not made it to Staples to buy paper today. I'm gonna say the Frankenmuth one is
Nope.
August 18th. There's no calendar.
Middle to end of August.
Your phone?
I thought I said.
Yeah, middle to.
August 18th, I believe, is the Frankenmuth one.
Just while you're looking at that, I also want to mention that we as a board had made the decision to get a pretty high level of access to online training content with MTA. So those are previous webinars and trainings that they have done that are accessible. So if you don't have a login to that, then we can work with you to make sure that they have all of the proper credentials for you so that you can log in and do those trainings, and those are free of cost.
Yes.
Because we've already covered it.
So there is, once you guys sign up on the MTA, you're gonna get a lot of emails. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna get a lot of emails. Do not sign up for the chat discussion email because
6 a day.
everything, yeah, it's ridiculous. But Kim, Deb, Matt, I would recommend being, even Laurie knows all the MTA stuff, being a board, but I would recommend looking into that. And if,
I went to one before you did,
okay,
so.
because the one I went to in Franklin, like I told you guys, was awesome. What?
The one I went, it was 2 days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This is what,
Megan, can you get that info for me? I think that you get it.
For the planning commission?
Or
The planning
or
commission
the-
MTA meeting?
the online one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, not for
Or
the
not
online,
the
for the.
actual-
Deb, I'll
the one
forward
on
you
it.
Oh,
some
okay.
Yeah,
tonight.
I have MTA
I'll
access, so
forward
I
it to
can,
you guys.
Just forward it to
I
all
can
of
look
you.
tomorrow.
Okay, I guess I'm the only one. So, looking at our bylaws, the last MTA conference or mix or whatever they call it, Hot Topics, sorry, I asked Matt, I believe the chairman has to approve it, then it gets sent to the clerk, correct? So I would like permission, I will not be able to attend the Frankenmuth one, no mileage, I'm gonna attend the Gaylord one. But I'm just encouraging, so approval, and then I can fill out the application and
Is there something he needs to sign or anything, or is that something?
The clerk's office just need to be made aware of it so that when it comes time for billing, we can
Yeah.
file it appropriately.
so.
I'd request
And
that
then
both of
I
us be
will
included
forward
on
it
that,
to the rest
just so
of you
that
guys
if he's
as soon as
absent,
we're done.
somebody in the office got it.
Okay.
So, okay, that's all I have in other input. Then we can-
Anybody other input from the commission? Right there. Mr. Wamernick?
I have a big question. You guys say that the last 4 years, last 6 years, that means nothing. So everything you're doing today means nothing because what they did 4 years ago, oh, it doesn't matter, it was done then. So what you're doing today means nothing 2 years from now. That's what you're getting
That
to
is
me.
not what we're saying.
Wait a minute. We go back to Turkey Roost, and it was the other day. We can't account about that. So what we're doing here today, there's no accountability in 2 years from now. 2 years from now, it's gone. No, we can't, we can't.
No, as far as the plans, as far as the
Because you weren't here.
plans or not the plans, I don't know, but I mean, me as a resident, I'm not gonna come in here and look for you, but I don't know where they are.
I did.
I don't know where they are, I don't know if they're stamped. We are a commission made
That's
up
all of
of
it.
basically
Right there.
volunteers.
Right, we're all volunteers, but
The
what you
documents
say
are
now
verified.
means nothing in 2 years from now, because that's what you all just told me.
Well, that's
It was
all.
done a couple years ago, and that was done a couple years ago, so that don't mean
No, that's why we
shit.
have ordinances. So
The ordinances are no good.
good.
They contradict each other. So throw them out and let's start out new, okay? Because they contradict. So whatever you're trying to do with this ordinance today, go back and look at 1938, because that's what you're doing. But yet we can't go back 4 years when they were doing their thing, because wait a minute, they did it and now I can't get an answer for 3 years here on what I'm trying to do. So who do I go to get an answer, or do we have a public meeting so we can have an answer? Because it's either I gotta go to ZBA, I gotta go to your meeting, this meeting, but I cannot get a straight answer from anybody here. Not a straight answer. So once you give me a straight answer, that doesn't mean shit, because what I just was told by all you guys, that was done a few years ago, and that was them people. So whatever you're making today, wait a minute, what you're making today means nothing in 2 years for the next people.
That
It's
certainly
exactly
isn't-
what you
that
just told me.
certainly isn't what I'm saying.
Well,
It doesn't
okay, so
mean nothing.
why
I
is it-
understand where you're coming from, but I'm not the
That's what it is.
historian here, and neither
So why are we going back to 1938 laws and going back to another law, which it contradicts it all together? Your book is
I
garbage.
understand.
The book is garbage.
You know,
Garbage.
Working on it, buddy.
No, you gotta start taking it in instead of giving it to a lawyer, which, wait a minute, where did we get this lawyer's bills from? Because you didn't know your job?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Time-
Oh,
that's not
okay.
Time is up. We
Yeah,
need to
we're-
adjourn.
What we need to, I gotta get an answer.
No.
3 years is kind of,
This commission
3
can't
years.
give you an answer,
3
sir.
years I've waited for an answer. He's gave me every answer but the right one.
All right.
So,
Point of order.
Yeah.
We need
bullshit,
to-
I want an answer.
Time is up.
I paid taxes to get answers.
Motion to adjourn.
And if this is the board that I have to get answers from, bullshit.
Is there
I want
anything else?
Is there any other public comment? Time is up.
You,
Get our plans.
yeah, there
Yes,
is.
sir.
Yeah.
So when you start talking about that, the reason there's a rule 1602 is because there were
Could
problems.
be 1608, I don't care what
I'm
it says,
speaking,
Charlie.
point of order. Point of order. I didn't say nothing when you were speaking.
Listening.
So we passed that on the planning commission because there were some problems. So you fix it. And when you find the problems, you fix them. You don't create more problems. And we worked on a master plan for 3 years, and there were only three typographical errors. And when those were fixed, it was to go back in front of the board, and that was election time. It never did. And then someone elected to say, let's open the master plan again after we spent thousands of your dollars over
Right.
3 years. Okay? So Deb was on that board at that time. We were given packets, we were given maps, and we worked on that bi-weekly. So basically what you said is everything that was worked on is trash, Mr. Bloom. That's what you just said tonight in tonight's meeting. And you know what? People are gonna say what you're working on is trash.
Yeah.
I sat in that
Yeah.
meeting right down there, and I was recording the one night when it was said, well, we're gonna do this great big building, and Tom winked at you for a master, for you to be able to
I'm an
build.
atheist too.
So,
Tom winked at me for what?
no, he winked at him. I got the video, because I recorded it. And then the next best part was, he said, and we're working on our church ordinance too, and he turned and looked at me. That's not how you do business. I'm sorry.
All the meetings and everything that.
You know,
was
Tom's not here to defend
2020.
himself,
Now,
Mr.
what-
Campbell.
I got a recording, I can prove it,
Just
Mr.
found all
Bloom,
that
so I rest my
Okay.
peace.
I just
And
want
I know
to.
Tom had conversations with you.
Point of order.
Church.
Is there any other
What
public?
part of the
All
township
right.
do you go to get an answer? That's all I've
You
asked.
got 2 minutes,
I
ma'am.
just have one question.
Sure.
Fine.
Everybody that worked on the whole lawyer that got sent to the lawyer that you guys all tabled, the board tabled, are you guys going to see that so that you can fix what the lawyer thinks is wrong? So that you guys feel that you
That needs
accomplished
to come, I mean,
something?
that ultimately needs to come from the board, not from the lawyer. But, I mean,
And I
we
get
have
that.
suggested that we get to see what
But
the
do
lawyer's
you,
opinions
all
were.
of you guys sitting up there feel defeated because everything you just worked on went where?
Go ahead.
It takes
So-
a vote
So
of the
I'm
board
but I'm
to
asking,
release privilege.
are you going to let them
I
see
can't
it?
make that decision because it's a
Mr.
vote
Chairman?
of the board to release privilege.
Do you understand what I'm saying though, like,
Mr. Chairman.
so that they
You're
can
asking
work
me
on
if
it?
I'm gonna let them see it. That is a vote of the board to release privilege.
what are
That's
they
not my
doing there?
decision.
If they're not gonna
And-
have
and
any.
The
as a
public already
planning
asked the board to
commission,
do
I
that,
would
and they
like
did
to
not
see
act
it.
on it.
Right, that's what
I
I'm
think
asking.
that-
I wanna
Yelled
see
at
it.
the board about
Everyone
that.
wants to
So
see
I'm
it.
not telling you
It was
yes or
asked.
no. I'm saying it's a vote of the board. So the board would have to be at a table, at an open meeting to make that decision. That's not my decision. It's the board's decision. I'm 20% of the board. So the board has to make a vote to legally release that. The board decides to release legal privilege. That has to be a motion that is made before the board.
So can that be put on the next agenda for the next
Yeah.
meeting?
Potentially, if you want it to be brought
Put that in the
forward.
minutes.
Because I mean, they worked hard.
It was brought up in the last board
But
meeting.
because of the
Yes.
fact that
It
it
was
was
brought up
privileged,
in the
there
most
was nothing
recent
on the
board
agenda, it was not a motion to bring forward, and it wasn't exactly the greatest circumstance in which to do that, to have that discussion.
And if they're gonna push that back to us,
So,
there's definitely gonna be
That's
a
why I
push
answered
to
3 years, I'm
them
still,
to get us
can't
that
get an answer.
information.
Right,
I mean, you
But
guys
it's
have
gotta
worked
be
hard,
total
that's why
bullshit.
I'm asking.
That was a
I
good question.
think-
it is, it's just, it's a legal process, and not everybody understands the actual laws we have to follow, and sometimes that ends up leading to a lot of confusion and statements that aren't actually accurate because you don't understand the underlying laws that we have to follow. It's not something that we necessarily put a primer out, right? But that's how it works. We do not have the legal right to release that information without an action of the board releasing it.
But you had the right to hire them.
By a board vote,
Yeah.
yes, by a
It should-
board vote.
It should have been by the
That's how it
public's vote,
works.
not just the board.
Yeah, if we had a
Yeah.
public vote on everything
You
we
are.
did, no.
Okay,
you are.
you had your time.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Sorry, I don't wanna take everybody's time, I know everyone's exhausted and all of that, like, I get it. Alright, so just, like, there's 3 quick notes. Number 1, I think you read, Jeremy, while you were, going through the contract that the zoning consultant is supposed to be supported by legal services that are available to the township, correct? And I may not have the wording exact there, but that sounds to me like absolutely an opening for Don to be able to consult directly with legal and get what the legal opinion was and where those hindrances are from those zoning ordinance amendments being passed. That's huge. I think we need to use that, and I think it needs to be disclosed to the planning commission and to the public as well, so that there can be people actually working on, like, moving the thing forward. I don't want you guys to have to waste your time anymore. Okay. Number 2, it sounded to me like Don Hamilton and Tom Reif were hired, it sounds like, to perform zoning administration, review the current ordinances, and propose how they can be properly implemented, but also propose amendments based upon the existing ordinances. And I think that it makes sense that realizing that there's a dysfunctional number of variance applications and ZBA meetings and everything that are being required essentially to keep the township functioning, and proposing changes that would allow the diminished necessity of those variances and those extra meetings, that just sounds like best practice to me. That doesn't sound like something that would by necessity have to be ordered by someone on the board or someone on the planning commission in order to make that part of the job. So I don't think that that should really be under dispute. And number 3, you said there was a violation of the bylaws with regard to group communication. So I'm curious about what exactly that violation would be. Can the bylaws be changed? Because from my perspective, like, I've worked in various industries and stuff, my husband has as well, and a lot of times, especially when there are so much changeover in the board, in the planning commission, and people that are still learning how to do their jobs, a lot of times, while everybody's trying to learn best practice, extra redundancy is sort of necessary in order to figure out what flows well. Matt, you admitted that there were a couple of times where communication was delayed because you didn't have time to get to it. But it might be more functional to have people that can jump in as needed, as necessary, or like Don said, he's not going to be charging for like a quick 5-minute conversation. He's charging for times where he has to do extended research and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering, can those bylaws be changed in order to make the work itself more effective and more streamlined for everybody, so there's less frustration and less like everybody has to wait until the meeting itself is underway before they figure out what's going on and who's.
That's pretty
communicating
standard practice as far
Yeah.
as the quorum,
what. Okay.
because, 4 of us could get together at the restaurant and discuss things and leave one person out.
Right, right.
Whatever the case may be, you're
Like,
you're trying
I
to
do
keep
understand, like, yeah, like you want to have proper transparency, and I guess my question is more like, if you can have written group communication where everyone is included, like, mandatorily, then you avoid that, that dysfunctional, like, I'm intentionally leaving one person out because I know they don't agree, whatever,
I think that would fall under
Does that make
open, the
Yeah,
open.
it's a violation.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
that's not our bylaws.
yeah, that's-
Maybe I misspoke or misunderstood. I think there was,
Okay.
Laurie was talking at the same time, when we were all having a conversation.
Sure.
The bylaws, yes, states planning consultant.
Okay,
The group text,
yeah,
it cannot, I mean,
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay, with that,
You got one more guy.
is there anybody else? Thanks, Don.
My pleasure.
You made a comment earlier that someone from the board is supposed to be here by law every meeting.
By our bylaws.
It's supposed to be
No,
on
that's,
the
Our
no,
commission.
bylaws.
that's,
No, by
no,
state
no,
law.
that's law.
On the commission.
By law.
By
You
law.
said by law. So
Right.
who enforces the law when that person doesn't do the law?
It's
Right.
a little more complicated
The
than
same,
that,
well, we won't even go through that.
yeah.
Well, you
Michigan
need to go
zoning
there
enabling
because the
act
man
is
is
what
supposed, somebody's
gives that
supposed to
law.
be here and they're not here. That's why you're having a problem with communication, because somebody's supposed to be here listening to what you say. And if he doesn't hear what you say, what good is your words being said?
Yep.
Think about it. That's all I'm, think about it.
Appreciate it, thanks. Don?
Mrs. Enfield said a lot of what I wanted to say, and it was very well said. But I would just like to say, I feel as though I'm being criticized, so I will tell you, I have ordinances that were written decades ago that are still in effect. And most of those places never had a variance application. So, and they didn't grant variances. They amended it as necessary for the changes that they had, and it's still in effect. And I would ask anybody that you ask advice of, how many zoning ordinances have they ever written? How many have they administered? Because that's an important thing. If you write something and you don't have to administer it, you can write any crap. And that's a lot what happened with your ordinance. I don't know if anybody ever proofread that knew what the hell he was doing. So that's my statement.
Well,
Thank you very much.
I don't think, I certainly didn't mean to criticize anyway, if it was, if you felt.
Well, I certainly don't pad my invoices. And there is some intimation
that.
that somehow that they weren't properly done.
So question, where do I go to get an answer after 3 years, one more time?
Talk to the supervisor, I guess. He's the head of the township. I don't know. That's
See
where
what I'm
you
saying?
go.
I
That's where you go.
paid my
because that's-
taxes and I don't get an answer.
That's where you
So
go.
why are we at these meetings when you can't even give me an answer for 3
This
years?
meeting had nothing to do with
Yeah,
your
but-
answer to
But
your
the answer
question.
is I came to everything. Attorneys give me every answer underneath the
I'd like to
roof.
make a motion to
Bullshit.
adjourn.
No, just one second.
You're losing.
I'm sorry, you wanted to speak, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, so I just want to address one of the points there about having a board member on this committee. That's a direct fault of the supervisor. The supervisor of this township has a responsibility to nominate who goes on this board. He was trying to put himself on the board, which is a violation of Compatible Offices Act. It was the rest of the board's responsibility to either approve or disapprove. They disapproved. Should be over. It's done. So it is his fault that there was not a member of the board on this commission. If you want to have an issue with that, you take it to the supervisor, because that's the guy that's at fault.
That's incorrect, Jeff.
It is not
The lawyer sat right here in the front row and said it is He can be on the board.
Yes,
He told the whole board.
because the rest of the board has the authority to approve it. The
Yep.
board didn't approve it, so it's done.
The supervisor also tried to approve Brian Waldy, appoint him, and he didn't want it because he was so new. So to say he didn't appoint anybody is not 100% true.
There's 5 members on the board.
Yep.
He can't appoint himself. He
Yes.
could have appointed any of the
Yes.
other 4.
The attorney flat out said in a meeting.
Because of the Compatibility Act, only because the rest of the board has the authority to approve it. He didn't give up his responsibility to appoint members, then he could have been on this thing. There was a path for him to be on this committee, but he didn't do it. It's his fault. No, that is the lawyer's opinion. Go back and watch the videos. The lawyer said exactly what he had to do.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
I will make that
For the
motion.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's good to see you
So
again.
much planning.
Don't invite
I guess we just.
Bill now, get out.
We gotta do it.